walking down downtown Kalamazoo. You would think this is being a small town, there's not much here, but in a lot of the doorways I've seen so far 6 homeless people, residents. I talked to one. I'm gonna give him some money to talk to him in a little while because he's flying a sign, and time is money when you're doing that. As you can see, Kalamazoo is a lot bigger and has a lot more money than people think. There are several billionaires that have pretty much bought the city council so they can implement whatever kind of laws they feel like. A lot of this old architecture is very pleasing to the eye. I feel like I could be back in Alabama or Tennessee. Another thing a lot of people don't realize about being homeless is the loneliness that comes with it, and addiction in itself. You could be sitting at one spot for hours. Standing in back alleys will become commonplace. And hours. When you're a homeless and an addict, be prepared to be very familiar with a lot of county courthouses. You will be visiting them plenty. And hours still. Sitting by a dumpster, behind a seedy motel waiting for your hookup to show up, maybe some money to come through, a ride to pick you up. You'll be getting to know these little nasty places sitting on the ground, little spots where no one else goes, and get to know them with great familiarity as the hours just, slowly pass by. We're a small town. As you can see, like what Dom said, there are many unhoused people, and it's a pretty good sized city. Down at the railroad tracks. Well, in any city, anywhere, you can find life. That's how this place be. Everywhere you go, in any city, this is where life washes up like Jetson and Flotsam on a wave.
I was homeless for 25 years, and I was homeless in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was in the domestic violence issue, so I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am scared for my life still because he can find me here in Kalamazoo. I might end up back into crack cocaine and smoking crack, and I hate that I'm going to end up back in that life.
It pulls you back.
Yeah.
What's your name? You don't have to give me your full name because I know you don't want to.
My name's Dawn.
That's like, okay.
Yep. And I just hope I can change. Yeah.
Has anybody tried to offer you help out
yes,
here?
my pastor, Joan from Brookside Church in Grand Rapids. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people in your situation. One wouldn't think that Kalamazoo had such a big homeless population, but it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
How many do you think are homeless, unhoused here?
About 400. Yeah, about 400 of us.
Do they have any kind of decent amenities for the homeless out here?
Well, the issue is they'll put somebody out real quick if they have a mental illness, mental health issue, and that's mostly what's going on is people with mental health issues.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Sometimes they have mental health issues and that leads to addiction. Sometimes they have addiction which leads to mental health issues.
Yes, yes.
And bees love me.
I know.
So how long have you been out here in Kalamazoo?
2 days.
Just 2 days? Where'd you came from Grand Rapids?
Because of a domestic violence issue.
Is it really violent out here?
Yeah.
It can be.
I just got into a fight, if you want to keep it real.
Yeah, keep it real.
Yeah, I just got into a fight, and yeah. So, yeah.
Over some bullshit, probably.
Somebody stole my food stamp card. So, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I don't know how many phones, food stamp cards, wallets, everything I lost throughout the years, man.
Yep.
It just doesn't get any easier.
Better or easier. Yeah. So.
I hope the best for you, Dawn.
Thank you very much.
Alright, thank you.
I appreciate it.
That, unfortunately, is a story you hear all too often everywhere across the United States. Walking alone by yourself becomes less and less a thing of leisure and more like your own private prison, where the only person you have to talk to is you and your thoughts. This common monotony is not usually broken up, and sometimes you can go for days with not really speaking to anyone. I mean, you might say a few words, but certainly not having any kind of a conversation. You look at places, you really pay attention to detail, looking at the ground, find all kinds of money. I found jewelry, drugs, things you might need, cigarette butts. You think you got money to buy cigarettes? No. You're doing what we call sniping, picking up good cigarette butts and smoking what's left on them. Parks are your refuge. It's where you go. It's where you can hang out during the day without the cops messing with you. Usually, there's no guarantee that you won't get messed with. But these are the things you think about. Churches that give out meals. You look for them in every new town. You find out real quick where's the safe places to go and what's not. Oh, what kind of BS have I caught up with now? Who is this and what are they doing this fine morning? As we can see, new construction coming up in this town. A lot of money. So being homeless in any town, in any place, is a lot of this. I've sat in parks for 10 hours not knowing where to go or what to do when you have no money or have no one to call. It's a lot of sitting around and waiting, usually in front of a courthouse.
I'm David Nyan.
David?
Yep, I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm 58 years old. I'm homeless. Been homeless about 2 years now. I had a bad drinking problem, and that's the reason why I'm homeless. No drugs or anything. Just alcohol was my downfall. I have had good jobs in my life. I worked for the carnivals for 20 years, setting up amusement rides, and I cooked another 20 years in the restaurant. But I'm not old enough yet to collect Social Security. So I got a panhandle to survive, to eat, buy my hygiene, my clothes, haircut, shave, soap, shampoo, you know. That's pretty much it.
Do you stay at a shelter or you have to sleep
Nope,
outside?
I sleep outside.
No, I did too.
Yeah.
Those shelters can be shady places.
Yeah.
All right, David. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Yep,
I appreciate it.
Yep.
You know, in all my travels, I've been all over the world. I've seen many doors and benches, sidewalks, walls with names and paragraphs and pieces of poetry. It's the first time I've run into a canon. One thing that remains is I wonder who these people are, what they look like, what their lives are like. Are they still alive? What was the day like when they came here and wrote their name in the paint? These are the kind of weird things you think about when you have nothing but time on your hands.